Really looking forward to helping you guys out in any way. With all the advice you're taking time to inform us. Absolutely, that's what I'm here for. I'm really looking forward to trying to understand how this multi-stream thing goes. I don't know. There's like this social stream dashboard, and it's not working half the time. It's basically supposed to grab the lives. Let's do that one. Activate selected. Let's see if that helps at all. If anything, I'll just create this and reference all the time. But yeah, go ahead, guys, comment down below where you are currently at as far as like, you don't have to give me your name, but give me your grade, position, exit velocity, arm velo, and 60-yard dash. And if you're a catcher, pop time. So go ahead, give me some of your metrics, and then that way I have an understanding of like where you're at physically, and we can kind of just talk about where you guys want to go from there as far as what your focus should be on and things of that nature. Kason, thanks for joining in over on Facebook. Guys, I'm going to be hosting a really fun webinar here in a few, or I guess like here in a week. I am really looking forward to it because I'm going to be incorporating a lot of these different ways of communicating with you guys and making sure that you guys just get all the knowledge necessary to be able to learn and grow. That's what I do this for. I really just want to make sure that you guys have as much knowledge as you possibly can. I wonder on TikTok if people are still joining and just seeing like the OBS screen. Not entirely sure. If you are over on TikTok and you still see like this random OBS screen, let me know, because I'm trying to get this to work, but oh, I don't have the virtual camera on. That's not a good look. All right, let's do, okay, TikTok, can you actually see my screen now? That would be awesome if you could. Let me know in the comments if you can see my screen. That didn't take too long, but are you related to Fernando Mendoza? What do I know you from? So Colin, you might like followed me back in the day. I used to do a lot of TikToks. I actually was at the golf course a couple months ago. I came with this group of players, and one of them played baseball, and they said, "Yo, are you Mendoza?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Dude, you're like the OG TikToker." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so. That's I guess that's what I'm known for." Yeah. So yeah, cool. But yeah, now I'm doing the Mendoza Baseball Academy. I help high school baseball players play in college. But yeah, that is an area that I am known for, helping high school baseball players play in college and, help them get recruited as well. So, yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. All right. Yeah, I'm not related to Fernando Mendoza though. But yeah, I did a lot of day in the life when I was with the Padres and things of that nature. And I enjoyed it, doing TikToks and things like that, but now Instagram, it's the bread and butter for everything that I've got going on right now. So let me just make sure that we turn this on. I don't know why it's not working for Instagram. So I have this like one OBS thing that basically combines all the chats into one. So that way I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I have YouTube, and I have Instagram. I think I said Instagram twice, and Twitter, all into one. So guys, if you want me to break your numbers down, this is the breakdown. Yeah, go ahead and give me your numbers. So that way I can kind of break down where you are currently at with certain metrics. It's solely just to understand like where you're at and where your mind's at, because I do believe that there is a benefit in just reflecting where you're at, where you're trying to go, and things of that nature. Also, if you are on basically a vertical format live, so if you're on like a YouTube Shorts, if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, you can actually screenshot these QR codes and go to your camera roll and grab these things. If you want the free course on how to email college coaches, or if you want, to call in, that's actually something that we did for the very first time yesterday. There's a couple of these different like dynamics that we're doing in preparation for the webinar. That's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. On Thursday of next week, it's going to be a coffee and baseball, how to get recruited in 2026. So yeah, that's what I do this 4. And I want to make sure that like this is actually even working. I don't know if it is though. So that's the frustrating part. I want to be able to copy this new link, but I'm not sure if it's custom browser docs. Apply, close. Okay, maybe that will work. Hopefully that will work. But yeah, guys, give me your numbers. Let's break down some players. For starters, what I will do is just actually give you some numbers from where I was at, and that way you can have a little bit of understanding of like, you know, how much I was able to grow in really a short period of time. I don't want to say I grew like a lot, but I think I did. So let's actually do this. Yeah, let's do this right now. So you promised me some free row. I don't know what that is. So yeah, I didn't. Anyway, let's talk about like me my freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. We're gonna just go over my numbers, and then if anybody wants to break down your numbers and we can have a quick little conversation, that's something that we can definitely do as well. But yeah, so as far as, you know, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, so I was a, you know, right-handed pitcher, shortstop, all through and through. So let's talk about some of these numbers. So exit velocity, honestly guys, I didn't know what my exit velocity was until probably like sophomore year of college. So I didn't know what this was because it wasn't a metric that we cared about as much back in my day, right? I hate when I hear people say that, but truly, like back in my day, we didn't care about those things. It just wasn't really as important of a stat as it is today. Metric as it is today. I will say like arm velocity, this is something that I knew relatively. So I was around, I want to say like 78 my freshman year. Sophomore year of high school, I think I was around 82. My biggest jump went from sophomore year to junior year, where I went from 82 to 88. And then basically right in the fall before my senior year, I topped out at 91. So if you use these metrics as somewhat of a progression, it's common to make bigger jumps as you're going through puberty and things like that. Why does exit velocity even matter these days? So it does because it shows the overall explosiveness and power component as far as that tool. There's different ways of course, showcasing that power in a bigger stage, right? Like obviously if you can do it off of a pitching machine, but you can't do it in the game, those are the things that ultimately trump exit velocity, right? So anyway, 60-yard dash, this is the fun one. I started at a 9.5 second 60 my freshman year. I realized this was going to be a huge concern if I don't fix it. So I think around sophomore year, I probably got down to like an 8.7, which again was not fast at all. Junior year, I believe I got down to like a 7.9, which was a pretty decent gain as well. Senior year, my fastest ever was a 7.4. Not fast, especially as a shortstop. And when I saw these numbers my freshman year, this is when I realized if I keep these numbers up, I'm going to be labeled as that. If I work on these numbers and get them down to somewhat close to a 7 second, which is definitely where people want to be, that's when I can still be considered a shortstop. So that's the reasoning behind why I basically went and really devoted my life, it seemed like, to working on my 60-yard dash, because that was an area that I really wanted to make sure that I was taken care of. But anyway, like that's just like an area that I prioritized, and not everyone prioritizes the same things, and not everyone gets the same results. So that's something that you just have to take into account. Whose metrics are listed on the screen currently? So Brian, those are my metrics. Basically, I was going year by year on where I was at, because I think that just helps players understand kind of like my progressions. And as you can see, like for arm velo, I made an 6 or 7 mile an hour jump back in the day. That was by doing a throwing program each and every day for like 3 or 4 months in the off season. So that was a really good time for me to make those jumps. Also from going from freshman year a 9.5 second 60 to a 7.4, that's something I'm really happy about. Again, what I was saying is like shortstop, I wanted people to take me serious as a shortstop. But either way, really, really important. Let's see. We got a couple of, I think, comments on some other lives. I just want to make sure that this is working, but it looks like it's not. From Curacao, now, soon USA, let's go, drafted Kingsley. I have 2 MVPs, MLB building up, 1 of 12 and 5 switch hitters, both play anywhere in or outfield. I don't know what that meant, drafted Kingsley, but really cool, really cool. And exciting as well. So I think I just changed the color, unfortunately. So there we go. But yeah, if you guys want me to break down your specific numbers, that's something that I can do. That's what I actually intend to always do on these lives. And yeah, definitely don't feel like you can't ask these questions because that's what I enjoy doing on these lives. So yeah, if we could have just one brave soldier come up on here and give me some of your metrics as far as your arm velo, your exit velocity, so that way we can break down some metrics, so that way we have an understanding on where you're at and where you're trying to go and what your mind should really be focusing on. So let's get into it. All we need is one brave soldier to step up to the plate and ask a question. Also, guys, one thing that's really interesting when it comes down to what a lot of people are focusing on, right? Because right now a lot of people are focusing on just recruiting, and I want to make sure that like there are players out there that realize recruiting is not necessarily always going to be the answer. Recruiting is the answer when your metrics hit a certain not necessarily plateau, but a certain range, and that's going to help in the whole process. But let's get after Brian. Jeez, today's a long day. If you guys can see in the background, I built that whole thing. It took about 3 hours, but I was excited for that. So let's go over Brian and really his son. So he's a shortstop, right-handed pitcher, 12th grade, okay. And X velo 99, okay, that checks. Arm velo 90, that checks. 6.8, 60, cool. No, I don't need anything else. So with these numbers, you know, this makes me think, okay, like development, check. Recruiting, question mark. So Brian, on in your perspective, like what have you guys done on this side? Like have you gone to any eval events, which are basically like camps, showcases, things of that nature? Have you contacted coaches? Have you emailed them? Coaches. That's where I'm kind of more concerned on with where you're at right now, because like the development side of things, like 99 exit velo as a senior, like off of the tee, getting up to like a 103, it's not going to be the biggest thing that like sets your son back. The arm velo 90 definitely is where you want it to be, under 7 seconds 60. As a shortstop, that's going to help him stay. That's going to help him stay. I should probably turn Do Not Disturb on. That's what I'll do right now. So yeah, the email side of things, that's going to be where I'm more concerned on, to see if you guys have done anything like that. And also, I'm not concerned, but curious. Is he committed? Because like with these numbers, like I feel like he should be, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, let me know, Brian, in the chat. Also, guys, if you guys are on like Instagram Live right now, Facebook Live, if you're streaming over on YouTube, if you want, you can always scan one of these QR codes, or if you're on like Instagram Live, for example, you can take a screenshot. And what I did actually yesterday, I'll call you if you do the screenshot to call in. That way we can have just like a live conversation about where you're at, where your son is going, and how I could possibly help you guys out. Not saying I can help you guys out. That's why I do these. But I also do these to make sure that you guys get all the guidance that you deserve at the end of the day. I want to make sure that you guys get that knowledge. I want to make sure that you guys get that understanding with everything that's going on. So let's see what we got going on. I'm a junior in college, but I need a little advice if you don't mind. Yeah. One, Kobe, go ahead and ask your question, or if you want, you can actually call in if that's something that you're interested in. But by all means, you don't have to. Let me see why this isn't working. This is kind of frustrating. Stable core active. I don't know if that's going to help anything, but I'm trying to create this chat to make it a lot easier on my end. But anyway, yeah, guys, go ahead and give me some of your numbers so that way I can break down where you or your son is currently at. I don't know if Brian left or not, but yeah, I'm curious if you guys have started on the recruiting side, because that is a huge area of making sure that you guys are doing some things in the right way. But one Kobe, we'll do 1K Kobe. It's a 1. So we got 6 foot 200 right here in picture, and junior in college. So junior college, not JUCO, but junior in college. There we go. Upper 8s, low 9. So 88 to 92, tops at 94. Any advice on getting drafted on upcoming draft? Yeah, dude. I mean, these numbers are great. I'm curious on if you're, more of a, arm side run guy, or if you're more of a spin guy, meaning basically vertical spin, meaning. So that's something that will help you. If you're more of this, I would say velo is not going to be necessarily the answer for you, because like the velo is there. Your velo plays. There were times in AAA where we'd face guys that were throwing 87 to 89, like a Jesse Chavez, for example. I remember facing him, and his ball went in every other direction. It was difficult to hit because he had so many different pitches, and his pitchability was incredible, right? So yeah, the velocity is there, dude. It's really about the stuff when it comes down to it. So are you more of a run guy? Are you more of a vert guy? These are the things that are going to help me understand like where you're at. But at the end of the day, when we're talking about the draft, one thing I'll do just right now, I'll clear out this if it lets me. It's not letting me. Okay. One thing I will say about the draft, I'll go through a quick little like timeline. So like usually from like August, actually not really August, probably from October to January, but basically before season. And this was my junior year, right, as well, to make it similar to yours as well. So you're more of an arm side run guy, so that helps. So yeah, in the fall right here, so in the fall, that's when I would have meetings with MLB teams. And really not necessarily with the team, well, yes, with the teams, but really with the area scouts. So if you're having talks with area scouts, that's really good because they're trying to get an understanding of who you are as a player. Sometimes in these meetings, you'll do like a vision test. Sometimes they'll measure like literally your hand size. Weird stuff, honestly. Cognitive stuff. So like basically your mental side, because they want to get like numbers on you at the end of the day when they're talking to you, right? And these area scouts, they gather this information to help the higher ups basically make decisions and things like that. So that's what would happen. I would say in the fall time, there's a stretch of probably 3 weeks where I'd probably have, 4 meetings a week, something like that. So I think I listed it out in my notes app back then. But I think I talked to around 21 of the 30 MLB teams. So that was really cool and really exciting from my perspective to know like, hey, I have a pretty good opportunity of getting drafted. So they did tell me also like season came right here. I did not talk to a single person, and that's by design. Our coach basically said, no, do not talk with any MLB scouts until our season's over. So our season was over. And then basically the MLB draft happened. And a lot of people were telling me like rounds 3 through 6, be ready. That slipped until day 3. I got drafted in the 11th round. So like as you can see, like things can happen very, very short period of time. I wasn't super happy about getting drafted in the 11th round because it was day 3. I was very, very scared. After day 2 happened, I was like, I still haven't been selected. This is crazy. But it was really cool because before day 3 started, I had about 7 teams contact me. They're like, I don't know how you slipped this far. We want you in this first round on day 3, on round 11. What do you want to sign for? Things like that. Had a little bit of more conversation and had a little bit of leverage in some regard because I was talking to a bunch of other teams, and I actually had a fun little story. The Orioles, my hometown team, they were thinking about drafting me, but the Cardinals kind of swept up and got me beforehand. So fun things can happen in that process. But yeah, let's see. Brian, he did a number of PBR showcases, played in a bunch of tournaments, but he not a lot of D1 interest. Interesting. So he just committed to a D2 school in Southern California. The landscape is crazy. Yeah, no, the college recruiting process, it's crazy for the majority of people that will start late, right? And I think that's the thing that I think a lot of people get scared of is, starting late, feeling behind, and things like that. But P. Park Burke. I don't know if you can see that, but hopefully P, I don't know if you want me to refer to you as P or like Parker or something like that. Oh, my son Jacob. I'm so dumb. Sorry. That makes things easier. Okay. So, Jacob. 6'4", let's go. That's exciting. Outfield, right-handed pitcher. XB 97, 66.9. What several prospect camps coaches are interested but no follow-ups. How do you increase visibility? Curious what grade he's in. My son's 6'4". XB 87, yeah. 87 here. Yeah, I'm curious, Jacob, what grade? If you go into prospect camps, I would assume junior or senior year, but I'm not entirely sure. So if you could, if you're still around, Jacob's mom or dad, just give me a little bit more context and getting you more specific advice, because one thing I really pride myself on, especially on these lives, is not to give vanilla advice. If he's a freshman, it's going to change dramatically to if you guys are a senior and trying to increase that visibility. But when it comes to visibility and really the exposure, because this is what a lot of families will tell me that they need, when in reality it's $0 to increase that exposure. So yeah, 11th grade. So because he's a junior in high school, he can contact college coaches since we're beyond August 1st, right? And I think it's because this August 1st date happens and we expect so much more exposure than what we get, and we feel like we're already starting to get behind, or maybe we want that additional exposure because we might have the opportunity to playing at that D1 level. So when it comes to exposure, this is the way that I kind of think about it. The exposure happens at the very top. Next, we need to basically have some level of evaluation to get evaluated, because coaches need to see your player actually perform. After that, interest will happen. Basically communication, texting, emailing, more personal level, obviously very, very specific and personalized emails and text. We can tell from a mile away that these are not spammed out to a million different high school baseball players trying to go to a specific camp or whatever the case may be. So interest is personalized texting, calling, emailing, etc. From the interest, visit. From the visit, offer, right? And this is where everyone wants, right? If we flip that upside down, that top of the top, of course, we can narrow this down into 3 levels like D3, D2, and D1. But yeah, this is what everyone wants, right? So 11th grade, outfield right-handed pitcher. He's 6'4". That should be the attraction mechanism for these college coaches. It's already past August 1st, so I'm curious with these metrics like 97, that plays at the next level. 87 for an outfielder, we can probably, it's only a couple more miles an hour, but if he starts throwing 90 off of the mound, that's going to increase his chances of being possibly a two-way player because of his size. Curious on how he hits in game, because ex velo is just one metric. It's a very blind metric, but he's running a 6'9", so he's an athlete, right? So my main concern is on this side of things, and we got some of the metrics, they check the boxes, right? On the recruiting side, like, have you guys, like, you've gone to, I think I read, you guys have gone to prospect camps and did well, coaches are interested. So that's where it's like interested but no follow-ups. So again, like, are we getting that exposure through email, through DM? Also, I'm curious if Jacob's parents out there, still in there, if we're sending emails, how many? So, like, curious to know email sent. Do you guys know also how many emails, number of them actually clicked? Or actually not even clicked, but really opened. And then number of clicks on his highlight video, because you should be tracking like the clicks in those areas as well. Also number of responses. You said that you've gotten some interest, but again, with that pyramid that I kind of drew out, interest is like right here. And of course, like, there's so much gap right here that we don't know because we're not tracking all these areas. So I'm curious to know if you're still in here. If you guys are emailing college coaches, I'd be really curious to know, like, how many specifically, so that way we have that little better understanding of, where you guys are currently at. But yeah, guys, this has been a lot of fun. I enjoy this a lot. And that's why I'm doing it. I'm going to be doing a lot more too. So yeah, I really wish that this thing would work though. It frustrates me when it doesn't. Okay. Come on now. Of course that works though. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. These are player breakdowns. We like to do these every once in a while, guys. Also, if you screenshot and tap the QR code on your phone, what we will do is, or what I will do is, I will reach out to you so we can have an efficient conversation in front of the whole live. So I'm going to do that for the few people that have done that, and we will go from there. So I'm not sure, but we will see if Julie is going to answer. And every once in a while, that's the weirdest thing. If you guys go through this process, why wouldn't you want to answer the phone? But we will see. I also really wish I could get this multi-stream thing set up as far as the chat, because right now I'm trying to balance like 3 different chats and we got no answer. It's unfortunate, it really is. But yeah, guys, go ahead and screenshot, and then where it says screenshot to call in, there's gonna be a quick little form. Give me your phone number and I'll basically reach out. This is a 0 tolerance for nonsense though. So if you feel like that's gonna be the thing that you want to do, don't do it. But yeah, let's keep going. We got Kylie. Let's see if Kylie picks up. Maybe it's because like you guys give me your phone number 10 minutes ago and forget. I don't know. But some of these are also said hi. What's up? What's up? Yeah. Some people forget. I don't know why. What's up, bro? How we doing? Nirwan, hope you're having a great day so far. Yeah. All right, 0 for 2. Only got 2 more. We got Chris right here. Let's see what's going on. All right. Yeah, guys, go ahead and screenshot, and I will call you, quite literally. This is for serious parents that want to get some help. You definitely don't have to get the help. You don't need to get the help. I'm also curious on how this live is looking, so I'm going to go ahead and look right now with you guys, and hopefully it looks solid. But yeah, guys, feel free to ask any questions that you have. If you want me to do a specific player breakdown on you, yeah, go ahead and do that. This is actually pretty cool. Like the live. Do you guys like the live? You guys can probably just see. What's up, Luca? How we doing, Luca? How we doing, Luca? All right, I need to figure out this multi-stream chat thing because it's gonna make my life so much easier when it comes to the webinar day. I need it. Enter session ID. No. Don't know how it's working, but yeah, guys, feel free to ask any baseball related questions you have. And yeah, the way that screenshot thing works, I think it's pretty dope. It's basically you can call in and yeah. We're gonna have a lot more people on that webinar come what day is that going to be? Thursday of next week. Do we like that better? No, I don't like that at all. I want to like maybe make that more horizontal. I could do it like that. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that looks good? If you're on Instagram, let me know if I should keep that setting. If like Luca's still in there, let me know if I should keep that setting. I think that setting looks dope, if you ask me. There's a little bit of like a delay, so let me know. Let me know if I should keep that setting. I look good, right? I look good. It's super fun, guys. This OBS stuff is actually legit. I really enjoy being able to learn some of this stuff because it's super powerful just to like learn some of this stuff. It really is. But let me know if I should keep that. I probably won't, but we'll probably do that. I can go vertical. No. Horizontal. There we go. There we go. That looks cool. All right, we're gonna keep that. Looks a little bit better in my opinion. Cool. We can also do this guy, just one simple cam. All right. Yeah, I'm prepping for this webinar. It's gonna be on next Thursday, and I really want to make sure that you guys all show up. It's gonna be a coffee and baseball, really fun, and yeah, hopefully you guys hop in on that. I don't do it all the time, but I'm gonna be making some dials right now to some people that have applied. Let's see. Richard. Let's talk to Richard, hopefully. Richard's from Memphis.
But the person you called has...
Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Alrighty. So we got that. Let me see how I can work on YouTube. Because right now we are on live. But are we not on like the actual live? That's the thing that I'm curious about. Yeah, this is the interesting part, right? Because top chat, live chat. So I think that was overall on YouTube. I was getting some comments. Let's see what this looks like now. Dang, is this really that laggy? I just joined in and I was, okay, there we go. It's weird. The like thing like doesn't work. Copy link. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Guys, if you want me to break down your numbers, just go ahead and comment them. Okay, this is what I was supposed to be doing, but I completely forgot. Okay, sign in. Would you like to hear? Recommended. Okay, so. I should do some like live react stuff too. You guys enjoy that? Also, what I really want to know is like, am I allowed to check these first? Am I allowed to play music? That would be the coolest thing to know, honestly. I don't understand. Can one brave soldier? It literally just is gonna take 2 seconds. Just please send something in the chat, just like for literally a split second. I'm just seeing if it's gonna pop up on my multi-stream thing inside OBS. Just one brave soldier. Literally just say hello. That's all I need from you. If you could please do that, that's gonna help me out so much. Just to see if it's gonna trigger over on my other screen, so that way I don't have to have like 4 different tabs open and switching between them all. That would be great. Also, I'm gonna try seeing dual stream. So I'm gonna reset this. New stream.